Hey guys, it's Andrew Esquivel here, and what I'm about to review is something that I've never particularly reviewed before. Now, as a reviewer, I try to take the time to give as much detail about a product as I possibly can to try and help you decide if it's good or bad. Every once in a while, I'll do an oddball review about something that's a little out of my normal area of expertise. However, today is the first time I think that I'm going to be reviewing a company. Now, as you may have seen in my previous videos, my car is being repaired. I've been buying parts online, on AutoZone, different websites, all of this stuff, or at AutoZone too, and try and get my car fixed up. And this particular review happens to be about my latest purchase. And disregard the products for just a minute. I want to talk about the company. Now, the company is called Geek LLC, and their website is partsgeek.com. I'll give a link to it in the description. Now, there's a few things wrong with Parts Geek that I'm going to go over before I share my experience. One is every single review on the website that they have of their company are all 5 stars. That's an issue because it's completely inaccurate. It seems like they only pick the good reviews and disregard all bad reviews because upon further investigation of the company's quality, I did a few searches. Let's start with a reputable source of company review. The Better Business Bureau. Everyone should be pretty familiar with the Better Business Bureau if they live in America. Now, the Better Business Bureau investigates every claim they have against a company, from a consumer or another company, what have you, on pretty much any issue. Now, Better Business Bureau rates a company anywhere from A+ to F. A+ obviously being the best, while F being the worst. Of the hundreds of reviews from the Better Business Bureau, which I will have a link in the description, of Parts Geek LLC, they have an overall rating of an F. That's pretty horrible, actually. That's Better Business Bureau. Let's talk about other places that I've seen reviews. Just about everywhere you go, 99% of the reviews you'll find on Parts Geek LLC, or about Parts Geek LLC, I should say, for clarification, are in fact 1 out of 5 stars. Many of the issues being caused by things like wrong parts, which it happens, but there's also a more serious issue of parts not arriving that people ordered. And that seems to be a pretty common issue with Parts Geek. People will order multiple parts and it will not arrive. This is not good for a company, so the first thing people try to do is contact Parts Geek. However, this is where the real problem begins. You see, Parts Geek does not offer a customer service telephone number. In fact, if you want to find a telephone number, you'll have to search for it on Google. I did take the time to read through the facts page on Parts Geek, and there's a few issues I have with it. Only deep buried within the random obscure information on the facts page is there a phone number, and it's not for customer service, mind you. Another thing is they claim to have a support forum, which they claim there's a link to on the top of the web page. However, there is no such forum. The next issue would be, well, how do you contact these people? They do have a ticket request system for issues. However, it is very apparent that looking through many, many reviews that many of the times they do not respond to these email tickets, which is very, very bad. Because then how do you contact a company if you can't call them or email them? They do have a fax number, but I don't know many people who actually fax anything anymore, because faxing normally requires a telephone line with an actual number, which a lot of people don't have home phones anymore. They've moved to cell phones. There are other ways to do this, but it can be an issue to do. So, with people not getting their things that they ordered and no way to contact the company, the first thing they try to do is they'll go to their credit card company or whatever form of payment they made to the company and know that the company does not accept PayPal, so you don't have PayPal's biased service to try and help the customer. If you have a credit card company, you could file a claim with them. However, the issue that I found is that I received two of the 7 parts that I ordered, and it had no indication of any more packages being sent. And I'll get into my issues soon. But the problem with getting a partial order fulfilled is that the credit card companies will not take action until you return the shipment and proof of returning the shipment to the company. Now, this is a problem because if you can't get a hold of the company, you cannot return it successfully. So therefore, the credit card company is out of the question for getting your money back or resolving the issue. The next step people will take is informing the Better Business Bureau of these issues, which the Better Business Bureau is relatively well informed about this company due to much negative feedback that has been left against Geek LLC. So the Better Business Bureau will look into the issue and possibly resolve it. Now, beyond that, there's really not much you can do. You can get the police involved in certain cases, but unfortunately, it seems that the New Jersey police aren't very helpful in this situation, considering that the reason I say that is the company is mainly located in New Jersey, but they have warehouses all over the country. Now, this is the those are the main issues with this company, and I did order from this company. I ordered 7 parts, and here's my story. My story starts out pretty negative, actually, and it'll be apparent how I know these issues and steps because it happened to me. I received 2 of the 7 parts I ordered. I had ordered 2 sway bar links for my car. I had ordered 2 drums for my car and 2 packages of drum brake shoes, as well as a drum brake hardware kit. Now, the first package I got was shipped via United States Postal Service, and it was a very tiny box, just barely big enough to fit the 2 parts that I ordered. The box was fine. Nothing was apparent that anything could have been damaged. It was well packed. I will give them that. However, the box package said package 1 of 1, which indicated that they weren't going to be sending another package, or so that's what it seemed to be. Another issue is that the packing slip said that the shipment would be sent via FedEx. However, it was shipped via USPS. That's an issue. Another issue is that on the website, when I checked my order, it had said that all 7 of the products that I ordered, I know I only listed 4 different things, but I ordered a number of each thing. Total, all the products equaled 7. It had said that all 7 items had been shipped under the same tracking number. Now, that's a little impossible to fit all that in a tiny box. So I thought to myself, well, what the heck? Why would all these parts be listed under the same shipment if they didn't come there? And I thought to myself, what if they're going to use this to try and fraudulently prove that they shipped everything? What would I do? I could take a picture of the box and all that and say that there's no physical way to do that, but I never got to that escalation of the issue. So the first thing I did, considering that there was absolutely no indication that there was any other package coming, I opened the support ticket and emailed them. And I did this because I couldn't find a phone number. And I thought to myself, well, that's not good. Every company has a phone number to call for customer service. What kind of company doesn't have a phone number? So I proceeded to email them, and I thought to myself, this doesn't sound like it's going to end well. So I did a little bit more research, and I guess you can say I was not really convinced on the original, before I purchased those reviews about the company, because it just doesn't seem possible that they got 5 stars across the board with not one single negative review. And they have all these claims at the front of the page, save 80% off, blah, 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 and I'm like, it seems a little fishy, but I'll bite. So I sent the email, and I did some research, and the first thing I looked is into the Better Business Bureau, and I was appalled to see an F rating for the company, and I thought, oh man, this isn't going to be good. I'm going to get screwed out of my money. Let me Google and see if I can find some sort of phone number. So I Googled, and Lord and behold, I did find a few phone numbers, all of which will not work. Upon calling said number before the time of closure, supposedly the time before the closure of the facility, I got a message. One number said to leave a message and they'll call you back, and then the immediate voicemail message machine said afterwards, the message box is full. Goodbye. Couldn't leave a message. Message box is full. Maybe there's a bunch of other people with a lot of issues. Maybe I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one, as a matter of fact. So I called another number, and it said their facility was closed at this time, and then said goodbye. No option to leave a message. Things are getting very, very iffy at this point. So first thing I do is I contact my credit card company, and I tell them all this of the situation. And they said, ooh, that's not good. We'll tell you what, we'll send you a dispute form that you need to fill out. But you also have, in order for us to get you your money back, you have to ship the 2 items that you got of the 7 and prove that you shipped it with a tracking number. And I said, well, I don't really want to do that. I just want the rest of my stuff. But you know, how do I go about this? And they said, well, you need to contact the company and set up an RMA to ship it back. And I'm like, I can't. I've tried every way I can to contact the company. There is no way to contact them at all. And she said, well, that's a problem. But I'm going to send you to this form, and I want you to fill it out. And we left it at that point. And I'm like, oh man, this is bad, because I've got 2 products in my possession that I absolutely need for my car to function. I cannot drive it without it. And if I can't ship them back because there's no way to contact these people. And if I don't ship them back, I can't dispute the charge with my credit card company. So I'm stuck with $30 worth of product and $100 of products that didn't come. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not looking good. So I contacted the Better Business Bureau, filled out a claim, and I got as far as to fill it all out and wait for a response. Well, I sat there and I was thinking the worst. I'm like, with all these really bad reviews, with all these, there's no way to contact this company. The Better Business Bureau gives them an F rating. They claim that they shipped everything, but obviously didn't. I thought, I'm going to lose $100. Now, $100 really isn't too much, but nevertheless, it's still $100 worth of parts. I need these parts. Without these parts, I can't fix my car. If I can't fix my car, I can't even make it to a Christmas party with my family this year. So I thought, well, this isn't good. Because I lost $100, I don't have the required money to spend to allocate to buying parts elsewhere. And if I buy parts elsewhere online, I'll have to wait, and it will not make it time by Christmas. And if I go to an auto parts store, they're going to charge me a lot of money that I do not have at the time. So I'm like, alright, well, I guess I'm not going to make it to Christmas this year. So I sit back and I'm like, you know what? It's a lesson learned. It's a $100 lesson, but it's been learned. And I just figured I'd let the Better Business Bureau try to do whatever they can. I'll fill out the form with my credit card company and maybe hope for the best. The next day rolls by, and I'm sleeping, and I hear the doorbell ring. I'm like, interesting. I'm not expecting anyone. And I open up the door, and Lord behold, there is a package from UPS with all the rest of my parts. Now, I guess you could say this sad story had a very happy ending. I got everything that I ordered, and actually all of it came within a relatively decent amount of time, an acceptable amount of time, being less than a week from when I had previously ordered it. Now, this leads me to ponder, was I just lucky, or is this company getting a bad rap? Or is it really a really unprofessional company with issues that need to be resolved? And it's a combination of things, I think. Their tracking system is very inadequate. It does not have the capability, apparently, to show that different parts will be coming in different shipments. Now, it does make sense to do what they did. Because shipping was only about $7.50 plus the insurance that I had paid extra for it, no matter how many parts you ordered, it's always the same price. So they have to cut costs somewhere. It makes sense to use a company like United States Postal Service to ship smaller items because it's cheaper to do that rather than bundle them in a larger package with UPS, which would cost more. UPS specializes more in the larger or heavier package department, which is what they shipped the heavy and large parts in. So their method of shipping made a lot of sense, actually, from a business standpoint. However, failure to notify the customer of separate packages from different companies being shipped with different arrival times leads people to jump the gun on an issue when they're informed with all this negative feedback on the company. So at this time, I am currently requesting the Better Business Bureau to retract my statement against the company, seeing as the issue was resolved before it really was an issue. So, leaving the question to anyone who's trying to get parts for their car, I guess as a reviewer I have to try and suggest whether or not to trust this company. Now, that's a bit of a tricky issue, in all honesty. I'm not going to bother showing the parts, and I'm sorry for that. They're actually in the garage, and they're going to be assembled onto the car later today. But the tricky issue is, I had what could have been a very negative experience similar to a vast amount of people, and I thought it was going to be. But in the end, the company did exactly what they're supposed to do. And to top it off, they did reply to my ticket email telling me that it had been shipped under a different carrier for the rest of the parts. Well, now I just feel bad, but then again, should I? The company has a very bad reputation, so it only made sense for me to jump to the conclusions that I did. But my conclusions were wrong, even though there was a 99% chance of them being right. Quite a conundrum, actually. So, to go with this company or not, it is a gamble at this point. This is the one time in my life where I can honestly say I am not sure whether this is a trustful company or not. Because on one hand, there's all the proof in the world that they're a horrible company, but with my personal experience, they did exactly what they're supposed to do. And they did it quickly. They responded when people said they wouldn't. However, as far as the phone calls go, perhaps maybe the timing was just bad. Different time zones could lead to different issues. So with that being said, Parts Geek, Are they trustworthy? Well, statistics are showing that they're not. My experience says that they are, even though I would never order from the company again, knowing all these issues. So in the end, to trust them or not, it depends on if you have a backup strategy to get them to fix their issues. What I would do, if you have no other choice, because let's face it, Parts Geek has very competitive prices. So that's why I purchased from them. They seem to have every part that you could possibly need. Parts that you can't find elsewhere for your car. So leaving them being one of the more popular choices for purchasing car parts online. Now, like I said, I would not order from them again, surely off the statistical data that there's going to be an issue, even though I got lucky. And that's what I chalk this up to, is luck. Now, this is a company. They're supposed to be doing a job, and they're supposed to be doing it well. It's clear that they're not. And with that being said, if you're going to have a backup plan, make sure that maybe you can get a hold of them first. Try calling their number when they're actually supposed to be open. If you can't get through to ask a few questions, don't risk it. You can email them, but they're not going to be too happy with general inquiries. But then again, I can't imagine them being happy with complaints either. They're probably flooded, especially around this time of year, with a number of issues that they're trying to solve. And it also being the holiday season, there's a very high chance that packages can get lost in the mail, which is why I specifically ordered insurance on my packages, because this time of year it is very common for the United States Postal Service as well as other mail delivery companies to lose packages. UPS does have insurance on all their packages up to $100. So bear that in mind. USPS does not have any insurance unless you purchase it. So if you can't get a hold of them before you order, because you can order on the phone too, but I don't know if I would do that, because ordering online has some sort of actual confirmation. You do get a confirmation email. So if you plan on ordering from them, make sure you can get a hold of them before you do anything. If you can't, don't even try. This is an honest toss-up, because one part of me says, never again. The other part of me says, they did do their job, just not for anyone else. So, I'll leave it at that. This review is unfortunately inconclusive. And I'm sorry if that's not the answer you're looking for in this case. But it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for listening to my spiel here. I truly hope you found it informative, and if you're someone who ordered from Parts Geek and has an issue, I invite you, good experience or not, to leave a comment in the video telling me your story and letting other people know, because the voice of the people is very powerful, especially against a company that has fraudulent practices. So take the information as you will.